All right, hello everyone. My name is Jacob Attar, and today I'm going to be presenting on wisdom and movies. So why I chose this topic, really since I could open my eyes, I've been exposed to movies and I just love movies in general. I'm a big fan of different franchises like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Marvel, a lot of different action series, and that led me to becoming a media major partially because I was very interested in kind of breaking down films, learning the different meanings that they have, because really there's many movie quotes that can provide valuable lessons. Growing up, I didn't necessarily pick up on those lessons, but as I've gotten older and wiser, been able to pick up on the different messages that certain quotes may have. So for my focus for this presentation, movies are powerful, audience members can connect with characters and live by their words, and in this way, movie quotes are powerful too. There's many different movie characters that growing up I've been a fan of, that I felt personally connected to, and a lot of their words have provided a lot of wisdom in my life. But how I chose to kind of do this presentation for an overview, so I pulled 5 movie quotes from my paper that I'm currently in the process of writing right now. I'm comparing them to other quotes from different religious traditions that I was able to find as well, because they really do truly display a lot of similar meanings. So for my first movie quote, it comes from one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite movies of all time, Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, from Yoda. The quote is, "Do or do not, there is no try." If you ever watch Star Wars, this is one of the more prominent quotes, one of the more famous quotes from the whole entire movie franchise. This is actually a poster. I have a poster of this up in my room because it's definitely things that I choose to live by. To me, do or do not, there is no try kind of signifies determination in life. You simply going for something, seizing the moment, and not second guessing yourself. This is something I've personally struggled with a lot in my life, second guessing myself, kind of overthinking different things. But what Yoda's kind of promoting in this quote is simply just being determined, going at the task at hand, and not worrying about trying, just worrying about doing the task that is at hand. A quote that I found from Buddhism that kind of goes similarly to this states, "He who walks in the eightfold noble path with unswerving determination is sure to reach nirvana." Again, just kind of showing being determined to walk on that path, you're going to get the results, which I believe is what Yoda is trying to say in this quote as well. For my second quote that I found, this comes from one of my favorite animated movies of all time, Finding Nemo, from Dory. She states, "Just keep swimming." I'm sure we've all heard of it here if you're a big Disney fan. Growing up, I'm not gonna lie, I thought nothing of this quote, kind of just thought it's from a children's movie that I grew up loving, but at the same time, as I've gotten older, I've realized that really what Dory's trying to mention here is when the going gets tough, just keep swimming, just remember to keep moving forward. But I also believe what she's kind of talking about here is that you can keep swimming not necessarily in just times of bad, but in times of good, or in times where life's dragging on as well. There's always going to be certain periods in your life where you're going through struggle, or you're going through a lot of different good things as well, or when life just seems like it's going at an incredibly slow pace. But if we just keep swimming, then we'll be able to keep moving forward and completing all of our goals in life. So a quote that I found from here came from Taoism. I really wanted to find a quote from Taoism because of the ties that it has with water as well, so I thought it would be fitting for Dory here. The quote states, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." Kind of just mentioning that factor of just keep swimming. It's not going to necessarily be a fast process, but if we just keep moving forward, everything is going to be accomplished and everything will be fine. For my next quote, it comes from one of my favorite movies from the 80s, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, from Ferris Bueller himself, which states, "Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it." I think all of us in this room can kind of say that this is a very accurate quote, being that we're all seniors in college now. It seems like just yesterday I was a freshman. And really what this means to me is just living in the moment, stopping and enjoying the little things in life. Don't necessarily look super far ahead into the future or in the past, but just stop every once in a while, kind of reflect on yourself and see if you're enjoying what's going on in your life. So really, life moves fast. If we don't just stop and look around every once in a while, then we might miss the moments that we're truly enjoying. So a quote that I found that compares to this is once again from Buddhism. It states, "Life is available only in the present moment. If you abandon the present moment, you cannot live the moments of your daily life deeply." Again, just living in the present, being mindful of different aspects of our life that we're enjoying. So for my next quote that I have comes from, in my opinion, one of the greatest movies of all time, The Godfather, from one of the greatest actors of all time, Marlon Brando, plays Vito Corleone. He states, "Great men are not born great, they grow great." So to me, this is kind of a quote that goes on self-growth. Not one person is not born a specific way. You grow into the type of person that you're becoming through the different decisions that kind of shape who you want to be in life. So I believe that's what Vito Corleone is kind of describing in this quote from The Godfather, as you really do just kind of grow with the decisions that you make throughout your life, and that kind of shapes your personality and who you are. And a quote that I found that's similar to this comes from Hinduism that states, "Man is made by his belief, as he believes, so he is." So again, who you believe you are, the decisions that you're making, that's who you become. You're not necessarily born a specific way, you grow into who you are going to become. And for my final quote, it comes from, again, one of my favorite animated movies, from The Lion King. It comes from Rafiki that states, "Oh yes, the past can hurt, but you can either run from it or learn from it." Again, totally went over my head when I was a kid. I just thought it's a bunch of talking animals and a great movie that I really enjoyed growing up. But when I rewatched the film, actually when it came out more in the live action animation, this quote really stuck with me, as what Rafiki is kind of mentioning here is that pain is a part of life. You can either choose to move forward from it, attack it head on, or you can run from it. But if you run from it, that pain's never going to escape you. So really the only thing we can do is attempt to move on, try to learn from the pain itself. As kind of displayed in the movie, Simba tries to run away from his past, really try to start a new life, but ultimately it brings him back to the pain that he ultimately had, and he learns from it and avenges his father's loss. So I believe this is a very valuable quote to live your life by. And a quote that I found from Taoism that's similar to this states, "Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them, that only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality." So again, just kind of mentioning that there's going to be spontaneous changes, there's going to be periods of grief, but you can choose to either learn from that grief or you can run from it. So in conclusion, movies have power, and their quotes provide lessons to live by. I personally really connect with all of these quotes and characters up here, and definitely has had an impact on my life. And I encourage you all next time to pay attention to different quotes next time you watch a film, as you never know what kind of wisdom they might provide you. So thank you very much. Here are my references.